morning and welcome back to a new video. Now this one I'll try and keep more concise in comparison to the last one, but the idea behind today is how do I juggle my interpretation of a healthy lifestyle along with starting a new business, working a normal 9 to 5 and doing all the other things that life has to throw at you. So this morning I actually got up a bit earlier because I knew I was filming this, but 7:15 and my clinic doesn't start until 9 o'clock on a Monday. So that's when the first patient's booked in. So it's currently 8 in the morning and I've just been doing a bit of the admin and back end of the new business that we're launching. So I'll show you what that is. So for anyone who hasn't used Notion, this is like a new platform where it's like a database. So I'm trying to build up all of the results, what current medication that we have on offer and all the evidence so that we can go and provide lifestyle interventions before the need for pharmacotherapy. So there's that one, and then I am just working on the FAQs, trying to think of every conceivable question that may crop up for someone who's gone onto the website, because there's nothing worse when you get directed towards an FAQ section and there's no answer to the question that you've actually got. So I've got an hour left on this. I'll probably go and make a coffee in a minute, and then it's a case of my clinic is from 9 till 12. In between that time, I'll have a quick break to have a bit of breakfast, probably around 11 o'clock. And then 12 till 1, my plan is to maybe do a bit more on this. And then my clinic carries on until 5 o'clock. And after that, that's when I'm going to be doing some Zone 2 training tonight before doing a few little last minute packing before we go away. So this is breakfast and it is now, what time is it? 11 o'clock. So this actually isn't my breakfast, it's because this one looks the most aesthetic. Mine's over there, I have 2 pieces, but what we've got, and I'll have to ask the chef, is that we've got, what have we got? Sourdough, eggs, cavallonero, tomatoes.
Yeah. So it was 3 eggs between us, so, you know, not loads. Tomatoes, cavallonero, mushrooms, avocado, hummus, and then it's got some smoked paprika, some turmeric, and some garlic, fresh garlic in.
So hopefully you've heard all that. So that is what I have for breakfast most mornings. Obviously that's not mine, I have 2 pieces of sourdough and I have a bit more. Oh, we've only got one now because we're on rations, because we didn't go shopping yesterday. And I've had 2 coffees by this, I don't know why I sounded funny then. I had 2 coffees at this point, but that's it. So I've just finished the morning clinic, which is now 12 o'clock. So I'm going back onto trying to grow or do things for the other business, which is BioElite. So at the moment, I'm looking into insulin resistance and insulin levels. Not something that we tend to document or have a lot of access to in primary or general care within the UK. So it's something that I need to look into a bit more detail and incorporate it into what we're doing testing wise. But as you can see so far, everything seems to have gone to plan. I've got up, got ready, had breakfast at 11, and I've had 2 coffees with water in between. But my biggest issue with trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle is that my basal activity, because I work from home, I'm not really walking around. I try and get up every 20 to 30 minutes to try and stretch my legs, but I'm not doing that much basal. So that is something that I would change, and ideally if I can shift towards this company that I am building, and it will allow me to do a lot more activity within the day, which I think is underestimated really. When I used to work in a hospital, I used to do 10,000-15,000 steps without even knowing. So yeah, I've got an hour of this, then I've got the afternoon clinic, hopefully get lunch in between, probably around 2, half 2, I don't know, depends on whenever Jess will make it for us. And then when it's 5 o'clock, Zone 2 training. I ideally train when I've not really, well, I would say an empty stomach, give or take 2 to 3 hours after last consuming food. So it's half 2 and we're having lunch. So I'm gonna check with the chef anyway. So we've got a flatbread, hummus, a bay leaf salad, mixed seeds. It is bay leaf, isn't it? What is it? But I'm going to go with bay leaf. Sounds better, and I've seen it on a pack before. Then we've got X amount of chicken. How many? 5 little mini fillets. I mean, probably looking at about what? 150 grams. And then we've just got some hot sauce on there, and that's it, isn't it? But yeah, so that's the meal. I'll have this, and then hopefully it'll have enough time to digest before I do a zone 2 at 5 o'clock when the clinic ends. So that'll be the next time I pick up the camera. So it's 5:15 and I've finished the clinic for today, and I'm doing my exercise, which is going to be a 60-minute spin. So it's called Power Zone, and it'll be zone 2, zone 3 for 60 minutes. What that'll probably equate to is about 18, 19 miles of cycling. And now with the training that I try and aim for 2 to 3 hours of aerobic work per week. And then going forward in the week, in terms of times that I train and work, the only thing that really changes is if the workout that I am doing is less than an hour, I'll do that between 12 and 1, and then everything else carries on as normal after it. But I'm going to carry on with this now. I'm not going to film it because it'll be too long, and at the end of it I'll be sweating anyway. And then I will catch up later on. So it's getting late. It's 11 o'clock just turned, and that's it for this video. So after the workout, I ended up having a coconut yogurt with some strawberries, kiwi, and I think it was woodland honey. It was some organic honey anyway, just a bit of it, with chia seeds. So I'll overlay all these in the meantime. And then we had to go out shopping for some clothes for me actually, because we're going away. And we ended up getting some food whilst we were out. So we got a poke bowl. So I got a salmon with, I can't even think of what else there was, carrots, sticky rice, like a sesame dressing, all them things again. I'll overlay it. And if we're out, I think that's the type of food that I tend to enjoy anyway. And if I were to have something, so in terms of processing, it's as minimal as it gets when you come to eating out, I think, because there's not much apart from the dressing. There's nothing else in it that I could see. But yeah, that's it really in terms of eating. That's how much I eat now in comparison to what I used to eat when I was in the early 20s. I would be having a meal every 90 minutes, and I'd be having protein supplements every time that I wasn't eating. I just thought I was losing muscle mass. Whereas now, in comparison to what I'm eating in a day, I don't count anything. I don't really have any goals for anything with macronutrients. It's mainly based on fiber and how I feel. I've got to the point now where my body can tell me how I feel, and I sort of go off that, because it does inherently come in everyone. It's just that now we're so reluctant to listen to the body, and we just look at other reference ranges and sources such as calorie counting, which can be good for some people, but I think a lot of people I think it dictates their life in a negative way. But yeah, going on for the rest of the week, food's probably going to be very, very similar. Creature of habit. The only difference is that the evening meal is normally in the house. Training wise, I'll do some strength. And like I said in the last video, I want to start doing more bodybuilding, because that's what I used to enjoy. Don't get me wrong, the zone 2 training that I've done today, which I've either overlaid now or I did whilst I was doing a cycle, it's good for your health, it's good for mitochondrial function, density, all them things in terms of fuel partitioning. But in terms of how I enjoy it, it's quite boring, to be honest. I'm there for 60 minutes just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not something that you can shut away from. So zone 2 was something I used to think, oh, it's an easy ride, it's an easy bike. It's not. It's something you've actively got to engage in and try and push your threshold more and more. But if you've got this far, thanks for watching. The next video, I will be trying to do basically what I'm doing whilst I travel, because I found it difficult over the past 18 months anyway, when I travel anywhere, in terms of finding any non-processed food and sticking to a diet in that way, because I'm lactose intolerant anyway now, which developed about 2 years ago, coinciding with the time I stopped protein supplements. So it's quite hard from a dietary point of view, but I've never documented it, so this will be the first time where I'm going to see how easy it is to fulfill what I require in a dietary sense. But then also we're going for a wedding, so how easy is it going to be to break away, do some exercise and try and blend it with all the other challenges that life's give you. But like I said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.